All right, we got an inspection report at a little house here. Looks like we are at a house divided. Georgia and Clemson. So I'll give them a discount for that one and charge them extra for that one. That kind of washes out the difference. Seems like a pretty nice fella. Let's take a look at his inspection report and see what we got to do. Okay, so after reading the whole page of silliness, they don't really know what they're looking at, but they do need to list a few things. So this, the year of the furnace, BTUs, but common situation right here is water, and it's going inside the cabinet and draining back out of the exhaust, the flue. So they do have the proper flat reducers, what we call them here. Doesn't look like they have it aligned exactly right, but they do have the proper fitting there. But I would be willing to bet we'll get under here and find either PVC glue or something improper making this joint to the furnace right here. That black plastic is not PVC, and it will not melt with PVC glue, and it doesn't work. The manufacturer's installation instructions tell you to use an RTV high temp silicone. So we're gonna go under there and take that apart, clean it, wipe it down a little bit, and seal it back, and that should take care of the problem. Let's go take a look. Okay, we got a nice crawl here. Plenty of room. And if I can keep from stepping on all these tools, you can see where the water's been running, and I don't see anything on there. Let me get the light on. All right. I see some mastic right there that shouldn't be there from up here. But I don't see anything on this pipe. It almost looks bare. And as you can see from a straight angle, this should not go down. This should be flat. So they have put the flat part back here against the coil, thinking that the offset on this fitting, which comes in the furnace, by the way, this flat reducer, that's what we call them, is flat reducers. It comes in the furnace, and it should say top somewhere on it right here. Yep, see right there where it says top? Somebody didn't see it, but that goes up here, and that way the water condensates, condensation drains and goes right into the furnace and through and out the drain like it's supposed to. Let's go get a fitting and take a look at it. All right, so I had one in the truck. These come in furnaces, and obviously you don't always use them depending on configuration. You can see where it says top right there. So we're going to let that face the top like it's supposed to be. Go ahead and cut this, and I believe we're going to have enough meat there. It'll be up against this, but we're going to glue this and then seal that properly. And I use this red Permatex gasket maker. It's an automotive product, but that's what I use. And we're going to use our little Milwaukee quick cut device. This is the 18, and I've got the 12 and the 18, but 18 was closer and it's charged up, ready to go. So let's go ahead and get this off and get this straightened out. So as you can see, just like I said, it would fill with water. So you can see where the water would stay from about right there. So all that water came out of there. It's headed towards me, which I do not appreciate. It made quite a mess. So anyway, and as we can see, nothing, dry as a bone. That's where it says top. So it should have been in there like that. And if you look at it, water drains back through the furnace properly. So let's clean this up, get all these shavings out of it, which we do not want in our furnace. I'm gonna go get a rag because I don't want to use rain or shine, whatever the blue stuff is, wet or dry, to glue this side of it. And this, we're gonna use our silicone. So I'm gonna dry this off real good and we'll put it back together. Okay, so we've got the silicone. I put some inside and some on the outside of the pipe, or the fitting there. I got it where it says top, facing straight up, and as you can see, the water will do a much better job of running into the furnace and draining properly. So now I'm gonna glue this back. I've got this all dried and wiped clean. So I'm gonna glue it back, and then we're gonna let this sit up, and next time it comes on, it should refrain from this. You can see how long it's been draining like that. It's ran right down and inside, some here, but it goes inside the cabinet. And I probably don't want to see in there. Well, I bet it looks terrible, but I'm gonna go ahead and fix this, and I'm quite sure this will take care of it. But we will look inside and just check all the hoses and make sure none of them are loose or broken or cracked or whatever, but we should be okay after this. So let's glue this back on. All right, so you can see where they've got it resting on a piece of wood, no hanger. Running out the wall. Here's the fresh air, which is really not necessary. Combustion air, where they've got this furnace mounted in here. You can see how well ventilated this crawl space is, so this pipe is not necessary. But anyway, so we had to go outside and knock this one in a little bit just to get it to stay snug, but it should seal very well now. And the fitting is facing the top like it's supposed to be. So we should be good to go. That's fixed. All right, so inside the furnace doesn't look extremely bad. You can see where the water, you know, has run down here and got inside, but of course hasn't gotten inside the burner, hadn't hurt anything. Obviously the furnace is leaning a little bit downhill towards the supply, or it would have run back up in here. I got a clamp on that. Wouldn't be surprised if there's none on those. That's really hard to get clamps on that barb, those two barbs, and fit it in this little hole, little knockout hole they give you. So I'm okay with that. I do want the clamps inside the cabinet, and this obviously is a little extension piece they give you. Right there is a little connector, a little double barb. So I think this is all going to be okay now. That was all that was written up. Homeowner says the heating and air both work very well. Some people might cry about this little push in, push pin, push in type bushing on the high voltage, but that right there is fine with me. And it looks like the little rubber grommet is missing from the thermostat wire, at least that one there on the bottom. It doesn't have one either. But I find my guys do that all the time too, and I ended up bringing my little seat under here just so I didn't have to get in all this water. So quite a bit came out when we cut that pipe loose. So we're going to put the door back on and write the customer up a quick invoice to satisfy his inspection report with. Give him the help he needs to sell his house, but as far as what they wrote up on the inspection report, we've got it fixed. Okay, so the customer looked at it with me and reviewed the little report, or that one little page on the report, and this was all we're concerned about with HVAC. So he's happy, and he did tell me that it was a girl inspecting, so kudos to her. Nice female inspector, taking a look at the house for him, and a pretty thorough report. And there's a little thing I kind of like, is that red plate. That one they've written furnace, but it's nice to put those in the attic because nobody will mistake that for a light switch and turn it off. Can't tell you how many times in Christmas time I've been to attics with no heat and gone up and found the light switch off. Just don't have the heart to charge them for that, but they'll be putting the Christmas tree and decorations in and out, and they'll reach over and flip that off. So if it had that red plate on it, and even better yet, labeled, they probably wouldn't do that. So we're good to go here. We got a couple more calls today. So we'll see you on the next one, and thank you for watching.